Welcome to WYCE's Community Close-Up, our weekly public affairs program produced in partnership with Grand Rapids Community Media Center. Community Close-Up brings you a diverse perspective from community leaders throughout West Michigan, and it is WYCE station manager Phil Tower with you in studio this week. I am pleased to be joined in studio. We've got a big group this week. I'm excited about this segment. We're going to have some fun. We have a group with us as we're going to talk about the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce National Civics Bee. And I'm pleased to welcome contestants Hadley, Baer, and Siddhi Pandey of Riley Street Middle School. And we also have Andy Johnston, Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives of the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce. Now, Andy, you and I have done a few radio shows in our past.
We have.
We have done a few. And I want to start with the conversation you and I had several months ago about the Civics Bee. The Grand Rapids Chamber has been involved in this for some time. This is a national competition. Kind of give us a little bit about the backstory on the Civics Bee.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to host a national Civics Bee here in West Michigan. It's organized by the U.S. Chamber Foundation, and it's a great way to get our middle school students in the region thinking about civics. And when I think of civics, it's just a nerdy way of saying how we work together to solve problems in our communities. So students from across the region, including these two with us today, submitted essays of things they wanted to change in their community or improve. And then based upon national judges, the top 20 finalists went to our live Civics Bee at the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. And Hadley and Siddhi came out on top, our first and second place finishers. And they're going to go on to the state competition on July 8th.
And that was April 15th. And
Tax Day is a good day to have a Civics Bee competition.
Yeah,
probably,
and I'm especially curious when we say civics. Yes, it's all about working together, but it's about governments. It's about laws. It's about a lot of things. I'm going to start with you, Hadley Baer. You're an 8th grader at Riley Street Middle School in Hudsonville. What excites you about civics, and what caused you to be so good at this? You were one of the champions. I mean, where did that interest start?
So I really enjoy history class, and my history teacher, Mr. Lockhart, really came up with the idea really of the National Civics Bee. I personally didn't have any idea about it, and he started teaching us about it. And I feel like as I started learning more and started drafting my essay, I really figured out it's kind of fun.
Yeah. And what was your essay on?
My essay was on food waste, specifically in our school cafeteria.
Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Schools throw out a lot of food, don't they?
Yep.
Really. And that's fascinating. I don't know if there's a link to that online, but I'd like to, since we will be podcasting this, we need to make sure our listeners can read it, because if it's an award-winning essay, they need to read it. So I want to talk also with your classmate, Siddhi Pandey. Siddhi's also an 8th grader at Riley Street Middle School. And Siddhi, tell me what your essay was on.
My essay was about food insecurity rising in West Michigan.
Food insecurity, affordability, scarcity of food. What did you specifically write about?
I wrote about how a lot of people have to worry about where their food comes from, constantly worrying if they'll have enough food in the morning and all of that. And I just wrote about people not being able to have enough nutritious food. So, and one of my solutions was to add more food pantries in the area, in our community.
Terrific. That's great. And so you guys both competed in the National Civics Bee in Grand Rapids at the Ford Presidential Museum in the middle of April. Wow. I'm going to start with you, Siddhi. What was that like? Were you nervous? Did you know what to expect?
I was really excited because being there, it just felt really exciting. I saw all the other people. They were extremely talented. We got to talk with them in a separate room. It was really fun. They were super sweet and nice. And I was just really excited that I have this opportunity to share my voice about issues in our community.
Fantastic. And how many students, how many schools were there? Andy, can you kind of give us an overview of how this comes together?
We had students from across the region. Again, the top 20 essay finalists come to this live question and answer session. So it's really kind of fun because the students, the finalists, all have iPads where they're answering live questions that are up in front of the audience, and the audience can play along too.
I love it.
Questions about civics, questions about court cases that have helped, decide how we do business in America.
Now, Hadley and Siddhi are here from Riley Street Middle School in Hudsonville. Did you guys work together, Hadley, or how did you prepare for this?
So we obviously had separate essays, but we worked. The group from Riley, we worked with our history teacher, and he helped us study for it and revised all of our essays and helped.
Do you want to
us.
shout out your history teacher? What's his name?
Mr. Lockhart.
Mr. Lockhart. We need to make sure we say his name on the radio. When you finally realized you won, Hadley, how did you feel when you realized you were a winner?
I was honestly kind of astonished. I didn't think I actually won, and seeing all of my other friends place, I was like, oh, there's no way I got first or whatever, and then they called my name, and it was really exciting. Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of smart students there.
Yes,
you were
there
up
are.
against.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the components of the Civics Bee is that if you place in the top 5 after the question and answer category, you have to go up and talk to our 3 judges about your essay, and then answer questions from them in front of everybody. Which
really
is an experience, right?
Yeah. I can't imagine. So, Siddhi, what was that like for you to talk about your food scarcity essay with those 3 judges?
I was climbing up the stairs, and as I got there was a mic. I started talking, and it just the judges were super sweet and really nice, and the way they were asking questions, their tone was just very welcoming, and it just didn't feel like a lot of pressure as on other competitions I feel kind of do. This one just felt not as much as pressure, and it just was really exciting that I could share my opinions. So
okay, so we have you two, and what is the next step here, Andy Johnston?
Well, they're going on to states on July 8th, so the state competition. So they'll be competing with the top 3 finishers from the different regional competitions. And then if one of them should win, they're going on to D.C. in the fall. If you're familiar with the spelling bee, it's a little bit similar to that with regional, state, and national competitions. And hopefully one of them will be representing Michigan here this fall. And as we celebrate America's 250th, it's an especially exciting time to talk about civics and remind ourselves of how we organize things to get things done to improve lives.
Yeah, the top state winners receive prizes of $1,000, and as you just heard, Andy Johnston, Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives with the Grand Rapids Chamber, say then they have the chance to go on to the national championship in the fall. There is a grand prize of $100,000 contribution to a 529 plan. Not bad, you guys. Not bad at all. This has been something that has been put on by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation. The National Civics Bee is an annual, nonpartisan, I like that, civics competition for middle schoolers, increasing civic knowledge, skills, and disposition among young Americans. Do you guys know what you want to do when you grow up or what you want to study in school? I'll start with you, Siddhi. What do you think you want to study?
So I definitely want to do academic related. One of my 2 favorite subjects I would say are science and history. So definitely related to those 2. I would be really thankful if I could. Yeah.
You think you ever want to run for office, be a congressperson or?
Yeah, I hope
government?
so. I mean, that sounds like a really fun job. I mean, it'd be great. Yeah.
I think there are a lot of people listening who would love to have a future version of you supporting them and representing them. I think that's fantastic. What about you, Hadley Baer? What are you thinking about in terms of studying?
Similar to Siddhi, I'd love to go into education and teach kids especially about history. Also maybe going into government and going for the office president.
Why not?
All right.
Why not? I love it. I absolutely love it. Andy, can you talk just for a couple of moments about why this is important for the Grand Rapids Chamber to support this and has supported it for many years?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we're talking about trying to encourage our future leaders to see themselves as leaders. And the participants in the Civics Bee, man, they give you a lot of hope for the future, not just for our nation, but, our community right here, and the difference that they can make, and hearing them talk about how the changes they want to see and how they can get that done is really inspiring. And I think something the business community has a vested interest in.
Yeah, it's exciting. I've only been with these two for about 10 minutes. I'm already full of hope and optimism. This is a pretty cool thing, you guys. Again, Siddhi, Pandey, and Hadley Baer from Riley Street Middle School in Hudsonville, and their teacher is Mr. Lockhart. So let's talk about July 8th. You're going to be prepping for this. The competition is in Lansing?
That's right, at Michigan Constitutional Hall.
Okay, so there are how many other students involved besides these?
Oh, there'll be quite a few, probably well over 20.
Well over 20. And a similar type competition that we had here in Grand Rapids.
Similar type competition where there'll be live questions. And then if you make it into the top 5, you have to talk about your essay again and answer questions in front of the judges. May get some similar questions, maybe some different ones. I think the judges really like to ask the students, okay, what does this tie to when it comes to civics? Who might be for or against these different issues? What might be the challenge or barriers to getting your idea enacted? And that creates a really good discussion that they then make their final judgments on. So
similar format where you've got a Q&A with
That's
the judges and some questions on the iPad and things like that.
Yep.
Hadley and Siddhi, I'm going to start with you, Hadley, how do you study for this? How are you going to prep for this?
I feel like having a little bit of like the experience with doing it for the first time helps. We had like a study guide that our history teacher gave us for us to like work on and start memorizing.
Good.
And you can also do like practice questions like that the judges might ask you. So yeah.
You're going to be, as an adult, you're going to win all the trivia contests in town, for sure. That's very exciting.
And I will say on our website, there is the teacher guide and study guide. Yeah. It's really like, I think adults would get a lot out of it. A lot out of reading it. Yeah.
No question about it. I wonder how many they could remember. Oh, yeah. I think I learned that in high school or college.
That is the fun part about the live Q&A is that the parents can play along as well while we do the Civics Bee.
Siddhi, are you excited to study for the state finals?
Yes, I really am. We have like my history teacher, Mr. Lockhart, and he made us like an amazing study guide that had like all the court cases, primary sources, and amendments, like all of them. And I'm excited to like start studying that. So yeah.
You guys are so good you could do your own radio show or podcast. I'm serious. You guys are fantastic. I knew Andy Johnston was not going to let me down. We've known each other for a number of years. He brought me some really talented students. You guys you're really terrific. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. That is both Hadley Baer and Siddhi Pandey with Riley Street Middle School in Hudsonville. Their teacher is Mr. Lockhart. They are going to the state finals for the National Civics Bee. Wish them the very, very best. Andy Johnston, I'll let you get the final words. Anything you wanted to add that I didn't talk about?
No, we wish them all the best as they head off to states, and keep an eye out for next year. If you know a middle schooler with between 6th and 8th grade that would love to submit an essay or participate in the Civics Bee, we'd be happy to have them.
Yeah, grandrapids.org is the website for the Chamber, and I'm sure they can navigate to that study guide that's on the website as well, too, for the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep, Grand Rapids Chamber Civics Bee will take you right there.
Go right there, and it's as easy as that. grandrapids.org is the website. I want to thank that guy, Andy Johnston, Senior Vice President of Strategic Initiatives with the Grand Rapids Chamber of Commerce, as well as National Civic Bee contestants and state finalists Hadley Baer and Siddhi Pandey, both of Riley Street Middle in beautiful Hudsonville, Michigan. You guys, was this okay? Did we do all right?
I think you guys did great.
Thank you. Thank
you guys did great.
It was a lot of fun. Yes. And that's our program for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll do it next week right here on WYCE.